March, the 10th of March. Dear children, hey-ho, what a life for a dog, with 3 more kittens. As if it wasn't bad enough having 4 puppies without getting kittens as well. I wonder Mistress doesn't start a cat and dog home. I've given up trying to count how many animals live at Green Hedges. As soon as I get the right number, we get a few more kittens or something, and then I have to add it up all over again. Gillian says I'm not a very good adder. And I hope not, I said. I'm a dog, not an adder. I don't go sliding through the heather on no legs at all, putting out a forked tongue in and out like an adder does. That made Gillian laugh. Gillian's been polishing her doll's pram today. After she'd finished it, she polished up Thomasina's shell. Thomasina's a tortoise. Tails and whiskers, that tortoise does look new and shining. I asked Gillian if she couldn't shine me up a bit, so she tried. Well, my fur coat won't take polish at all, but Bones and Biscuits, the tip of my black nose did. It polished up beautifully. I can see it shining every time I look down my nose at it. It's quite dazzling. Smells a bit funny, though. I'm longing for night to come because I know my nose will shine brightly then, and I mean to go out on the road and pretend to be a small bicycle with one lamp in front. I've been practicing making noise like a bicycle bell, and Mistress has just asked me if I've got a bad pain. Fancy her not knowing what a bicycle bell when she hears one. A twinkling nose from Bob's. 18th of March. Dear children, I have such a funny feeling in my middle today, and so has Sandy. It's a good thing I don't write to you in my middle, or you wouldn't get a letter. Gillian says it must be something we've eaten. Well, we have only eaten nuts, and they're all right for eating, aren't they? These were funny nuts. I will tell you about them, and you will know if they're not good to eat, because perhaps you've crunched some up yourself. You see, the gardener was cleaning the motor mower, and had taken a lot of its pieces. He had left all the bits on some paper, and had gone to get his dinner. Well, Sandy and I saw Pat sniffing at the paper, and we ran to see what she was smelling. We saw a lot of little greasy things looking rather sticky, and I said, "Hoo-hoo, what are those?" Pat sniffed at them and said the gardener says they're nuts. They belong to the motor mower. They're oily. Well, I have often heard Mistress tell Gillian that nuts are good for her to eat because they have good oil in them. So I said to Sandy, "Quick, let's gobble them up before the gardener comes back. Ha ha ha, oh." So we did, but you know, they didn't really taste nice, and they're very hard to bite, and now, boys and girls, I rattle when I walk, and I'm dreadfully afraid the gardener will hear me and know where his nuts are. A nutty rattle from Bob's. 24th of March. Dear children, I feel most uncomfortable. I've just been well washed and well brushed, 2 things that I think are really a waste of time. I would have run off and hidden myself, but Mistress tied me up before she got the bath. The worst of it was that she didn't bath Sandy too. She said he had kept himself nice and clean, but that I looked as if I ought to belong to a chimney sweep and go and sweep chimneys. So Sandy sat and laughed at me all the time I was in the bath, and I glared at him and got some soap in my eyes. Really, life is very, very hard some days. I think I will go and ask a sweep if he will have me for his dog. How lovely it would be to be dirty all day long and no one to mind. No, I don't think I'll do that after all. I might fall down a chimney. I think I'll go and buy a nice new black coat. Then Mistress won't know if I'm dirty or not. Don't you think that's a good idea? Oh, well, goodbye, children. I'm off to buy a black coat. Oh, what a shock for Mistress and Gillian when I come back. Some pattering feet from Bob's. P.S. I didn't get as far as the shop after all. Fell into the stream and now I'm covered in black mud. Sandy says it's a cheap way of getting a new coat. 31st of March. Dear children, I have a tame robin. Ah, you didn't know a dog could have a tame bird, did you? Well, I don't really know how my robin came tame, but it's really very fond of me and even comes into my kennel. What do you think of that? It's a very tidy little bird, and I think it comes to tidy up my kennel for me, because as soon as it hops inside, it begins to collect all the hairs I have rubbed off on the straw. It picks them up with its beak and flies outside. Then back it comes to tidy up for me again. I told Sandy I had tamed the robin, and he said it only came to finish up the crumbs of my dog biscuits in the dish outside. But when I made him lie down quietly in the kennel and watch, he saw the robin hopping inside too, and it soon began to tidy up again, picking off all the hairs it saw among the straw. There you are, I said to Sandy. Haven't I tamed it? Do you suppose there's another robin in the world that would come each day and tidy up a dog's kennel for him? Nah, I'm a wonderful dog, I am. I'm the only dog-bird tamer in the world. I wonder what it does with the hairs, don't you? I think I shall tame a hen next, and make it come and lay chocolate eggs from my kennel for Easter. Sandy says if a hen comes to live in our kennel, he will go out. He says there isn't room for him and a pecking hen too. I do think he's selfish. Don't you? Your loving bird tamer, Bobs.